This video is going to show you how to use the hatch tool. Hatch is just another word for fill or what have you, but we call it hatch in architecture because we customarily use a pencil and we do hatching. So we have some options under the hatch tool. We have hatch, we have gradient, we have boundary. And if you've messed around with any, any kind of PowerPoint or anything like that, you know kind of what some of these are, what a gradient is, and what have you. I'm just going to go with the regular hatch. Now when I click on this button, it's going to give me a completely new ribbon to work with. So I'm going to click on hatch, and there we go, there's our completely new ribbon. Several things that you can do here. You can a lot of times I go with user defined, and that gives me a little more flexibility when it comes to adjusting the patterns and stuff like that, which you can try any of these other ones anytime you want to, but we're just going to start with user defined and let you experiment with the rest of it. Okay. Now what I've done here, I've already done it, is I've set some colors. I set my color, I clicked on here, and what I want to do is I want to make some bricks. So the mortar between the bricks usually is like a gray. All right, so I set that, and here where it says background color, that's the color of the brick, which I set it red, or I could actually choose something a little more bricky and use that deeper red. Hatch transparency, just adjust how transparent or how much you can see through the pattern that you put on your page or on your geometry. And one of the more important ones is the scale. And the hatch spacing specifies the space between lines in a user-defined hatch pattern. And that's another reason I use user-defined. That's the flexibility that it gives me there. So anyhow, I'm going to find a set of bricks. Okay, there's the bricks. And I'm ready to place this hatch, okay, and fill in this wall that I've made. And there you go, you see it. This preview. But what I did, now some of these other items are very large, like 50, 100 feet wide, things like that. So when you place a hatch inside those, it basically, because it's so large and the hatch is so small, you start to get basically just a solid looking color from a distance. So I created a 30 by 9 foot wall here, I think, and then of course you can see how I can place my just all I have to do here is click, but I want to bring my scale down just a little bit more. Nah, that looks better. I like that. And then I just click inside of it, and then that placed my hatch. Okay, so now I have a brick wall. You can use many other options as well. Let's draw another rectangle. And I'm not worried about the height or anything, just going to draw a rectangle. And again, we'll go to hatch, and we're going to go with pattern this time. And let's see, yeah, pattern. And I'm not sure what it's going to do for me. Let's and of course, the patterns that you see in here are used for pretty much everything. Concrete, sand, flooring, carpeting, things like that. Let's do this one, steel. Okay. And my scale is still set at 15 there. And I think, yeah, I can still adjust it. Okay, and there you see the kind of that angular steel look. I'm going to increase the scale to back to 24, and there. All right, and of course, because it's steel, let's put the lines themselves at black, and then the color of the steel, like gray. Okay, so here we go. Now it looks more like steel. You can kind of zoom into it there, and you place that inside your wall. And of course, steel walls they don't have to have the diagonal pattern there. They can have vertical or horizontal. You can also make patterns. I'm not going to go over that right now. that is pretty involved. And actually, as I'm scanning through this, it's actually changing my patterns. I just noticed that, which is pretty cool too. So you can do that and kind of look at some of your patterns and see what you want and what have you. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for patterns. And actually, that is it for the entire draw panel. Next, we'll be moving over to the modify panel. And in the modify panel, we'll actually be drawing some stuff that we can modify.